What have I been watching? So these videos are gonna not be as uploaded as often as I would like. I am currently dealing with a lot of school stuff, so I'm gonna kind of slow down there with stuff. But I'm gonna try to do these when I can. I mostly but since I may not upload one tomorrow, which is at the time of recording this tomorrow, Sunday. Like I normally record one, I go over all the movies, things like that, planned for this week. Well, I may not have time to do that tomorrow because I'm working on a lot of homework and stuff like that. And so, the time is limited, and so I may not have time to do that. So I'm going to slide that into this video, and I'm going to talk about a few things I watched. So let's start with this stuff. As always, I did not watch on streaming. And then we'll get into the stuff that I did watch on streaming. And then we'll get into movies I need to watch, things I'm planning to review, and such other stuff coming up. So first up, I watched Apollo 13 for the very first time. This is a Ron Howard movie. It's got Kevin Bacon in it and Tom Hanks. But I've been watching a lot of Ron Howard stuff over the quarantine since, it's still kind of quarantine for me because there isn't any places really open and stuff. Anyways, you got the Happy Days, which of course he plays Richie in the first half of the show. I think at one point he leaves. I never saw that part of the show because unfortunately that part of the show was never released to DVD, of course. And then I found this movie, A Beautiful Mind, completely by coincidence at the Goodwill for $2. This is Ron Howard's. This is movie won Best Picture. Fantastic movie. Really great movie. I reviewed it, I think, on this channel or either on my main channel for Down Studio. You have to check that out. And then I also watched this Angels and Demons movie, which also has Tom Hanks in it, and it's a Ron Howard film. So I'm kind of going through his filmography, in a sense, currently, because, I don't know, he's a director that I've recently gotten into his filmography. I think he's one of my new favorite directors. He's fantastic. And I like what he's doing with his films. This movie is, about space and kind of Apollo 13, the real life event. I don't really want to talk too much about it because I'm sure everybody who's been interested in seeing this film has seen it. Great looking 4K. But here's the thing. I like this movie. I think it is very good in a lot of areas. It's a very pretty movie. It's a really well-paced, interesting drama. The cinematography and the editing is always great. And that's the thing with all Ron Howard movies that I've seen anyways. And he's a great visual director. This film was incredibly well acted, and it's always fascinating. I really like this film. I don't know. I think out of the 3 Ron Howard films I've seen, Angels and Demons and A Beautiful Mind, A Beautiful Mind's my favorite. This is second, and then it's Angels and Demons. I think this is what I feel like. Okay, so this movie was actually nominated for Best Picture, and this is one of those films where I'm like, yeah, I can see why. Because it feels like an Oscar bait movie. It feels like it's trying a little too hard to tug on my heartstrings and make me emotional, make me feel things. And at times, it's successful in that. And other times, it's like you're trying just a wee bit too hard. But for the most part, it's still a great movie. I just, I definitely feel the Oscar bait side of this film. I don't feel like it's a complete 10 out of 10. It's like an 8 out of 10. And I still liked it quite a bit. I would, of course, if you haven't seen it, I'd recommend it. I'm not going to say too much about it because there are other reviews of the movie on YouTube, on the internet you can watch. Very popular movie. Very Very good movie. And then I watched the first Land Before Time. So I got this at a yard sale for $1. I showed that off in a video. Along with a bunch of other really awesome stuff that I need to watch. But the first movie is not on Blu-ray. In this set, it doesn't come with the Blu-ray disc. I would have preferred it did. I didn't get the film on Blu-ray, but since I don't have it, I just popped in the DVD. Because I want to watch at least one of these films a day, because there's about 14 of them. Land Before Time is a Don Bluth film. If you don't know Don Bluth, he directed The Secret of Nim, which is fantastic, and everybody should see that film. He directed All Dogs Go to Heaven. Of course, Land Before Time, like I just mentioned. I'm trying to think. There was another one I'm trying to think of that is escaping my mind. He's directed a lot of really... Anastasia, that's what it was. He's directed a lot of really good animated films. He was actually an ex-Disney animator, and he went pursue his animation career. And this film came out the same weekend as Disney's Oliver and Company, and actually it flopped in comparison to Land Before Time. They came out the same exact day. Because of course, most kids want to see a movie about dinosaurs than Dogs in New York. Just saying. And it's also just because The Land Before Time is a really great movie. And there's a lot of things that really make it great. Number one, the voice acting. There's a lot of child voice actors, but they're incredible. They're absolutely incredible. And then it's also the animation, of course, is beautiful as always. Every Don Bluth film, regardless of quality, looks beautiful. There's never been a Don Bluth film that you can say, hey, that movie looks bad. Like, you can say his movies have been bad, like, especially Troll in Central Park and crap like that. He's made some pretty awful movies. Troll in Central Park is so bad that he even is like, yeah, I made a mistake with that one. But, he's never made a bad-looking movie. In his video game work, he did the animation for Dragon Slayer, which was also incredible and beautiful. He's a legendary animator. Again, worked for Disney, which was the top of the game at the time. They still kind of are, but I would consider more Pixar that, and then, and they also have a lot more competition now than they did back then, right? Like with Illumination, DreamWorks, Warner Animation, just anything Netflix puts out, other streaming services put out, they have a lot more competition than they did back then. So this was unheard of, and it was really successful, and it was really awesome, and it's just great. But this film, and also the score to this movie is fantastic by James Horner. Excuse me if I'm pronouncing his name wrong. I believe he's the same composer who did the music for not Independence Day. What was I thinking? Titanic. That's what it was. And the score to this movie is fantastic. It's so good that they constantly reuse the main theme from this movie in every single sequel. And if you don't hear it the first time, you will. But it is so good. And I think what really makes this good, right? You have these characters that are on a journey by themselves, these kids, and they constantly feel like they're in danger, but they also feel like realistic kids would act. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that Don Bluth and his team actually got real child psychologists for certain moments in the script and things like that. Like Littlefoot's mother, I guess this is a spoiler, she dies. That's a pretty heartbreaking scene, but Don Bluth was like, we can't just show that. We need to make sure we do it properly. So we got an actual professional, and she said, yeah, so you need to have another character explain blah, blah, blah. So they added a character in that explains the death and after the scene had happened, and it it levities the scene more, and it makes you understand things about it. And it's like, yeah, so they they actually got real professional child psychologists. So you got really good voice acting from actual children, and then you also have these people, these child characters who actually feel like actual children, and things like that. And it's really well done, incredibly well done. Such a great movie. And I love that there's a film out there. Don Bluth, this is a quote he always says, that you can show kids anything, put them through anything, as long as there's a happy ending at the end of the movie. So, a lot of this movie, our characters almost get eaten. They're dealing with death. They're losing their family. They're by themselves. They're upset. They're alone. They're crying. It's a lot of miserable stuff that you would think like a kids movie would have. Kids movies don't have a lot of stakes because because a lot of people are afraid to do that type of stuff. And Don Bluth was one of the few people who's not afraid to do that. And so this movie is so incredibly smart and well made and just well put together. And this is also the executive producers on this movie, at least the first one anyways, are George Lucas and Steven Spielberg. So, I'm just saying, if you didn't have enough reason to watch this movie, you should probably watch it. It's fantastic. And I will definitely be watching all the sequels. Though I will say all the sequels from memory do not hold up. But I really don't remember enough about them to fully say, but let's be honest. There's enough out there. Sorry, my cats. Alright, I guess he's done meowing. Alright, so let's talk about some stuff I watched on Netflix. I watched some Star Trek, the OG series. I'm on episode 7 of season 2 out of 26. So I have like 19 more episodes. I'm trying to get through all the original Star Trek by the end of the month, and then I can move on to Next Generation. And then, once I move on to Next Generation, I'll move on to which one comes next? It's Deep Space Nine, and then I'll move on to not Enterprise, Voyager, and then Enterprise is last. I keep getting confused, but you know what I mean. I'll do all that. So I'm trying to watch all the Star Trek shows at the moment. But I'm having fun with that. But the way I've been doing it is I'll try to binge through one season a day while I'm doing schoolwork and dealing with all that. Because when I do we do it online. And doing it online means you're just kind of looking at a screen. So I just like to have stuff playing in the background. It helps me focus a lot better. And so that's kind of what I do there. And I like that. And that's what I do. Right? And I do a lot of that. I have a lot of things just playing in the background. Extra noise. And it helps me focus a lot better. So, I put on, Star Trek, really low volume so I can still pay attention. But, I just playing in the background, or King of the Hill. So, if, the teacher's not that interesting for a minute, I'll, look back at my TV and watch it. And, I'm always paying attention, but I'm always multitasking, too. So, it's just, it helps me out. It helps me focus, and I really love it. And so, that's very helpful. And it helps me get through the show, alright. So that's everything I watched. So let's talk about the stuff I'm going to review. Let's start with streaming. Camp Cretaceous comes out this Friday, and I'll be reviewing it this Friday. Challenger, The Final Flight, a limited series. That comes out Wednesday. I don't know if I'll be watching it Wednesday, but I will attempt to. Holmes is she's a female Sherlock Holmes movie with Billy Bob Brown. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's releasing September 23rd, which I believe is a Monday. So I'll be reviewing that. You know, there's this weekend, and then there's Monday. Not this Monday, the next upcoming Monday, but you know. And that's really all I have planned at this current moment in time. Of course, I reviewed the Dunham Chronicles. I don't know if that's correct how you say it. I reviewed Bad Dads Wanted, The Social Dilemma, and Pets United. I reviewed all that stuff, and you can check my reviews for all that Netflix stuff, like on my main channel, Kabam Studios. And also, speaking of my main channel, either tomorrow or Monday, I will have a review for Jurassic World. I'm going to try to do tomorrow, because if I do tomorrow, if I watch Jurassic World tomorrow, Monday I can just watch Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom and then have them all reviewed before the new Netflix Camp Cretaceous series, which the goal was just to do one every single Monday. But with that series coming this Friday, I thought it'd be cool to have them all reviewed before it comes out. And, you know, so I can kind of talk about it with a perspective of having seen all the films. And also, it seems like it's going to tie heavily into the Jurassic World movies. So, of course, I should, like, rewatch them, right, before I review it. And, you know, I'm working on that. I got Death Note to rewatch, so I definitely need to check that out again. I got The Martian still here on 4K I need to watch. Out of all of the Disney movies I watched, I still have not watched Into the Woods. I'm kind of dreading it because I respect Into the Woods more than I like it. Brewster's Billions, I got to check out that. I just got that one. 21, this Kevin Spacey movie. I'm going to probably watch that tomorrow, hopefully. The Outsiders. Interesting factoid. I did not realize that Ralph Macchio, Daniel LaRusso from The Karate Kid, is in this movie. So that's all the movies here on this shelf anyways I need to watch. So I need to go over my other shelf. But, you know, that's kind of interesting, though. I was actually listening to an interview of him talking about his career. And he said the reason he was in that movie is because he, I guess, was a big fan of the book that the film was based on. And he reviewed it, or not reviewed it, he really petitioned for the part because he liked the book so much. He loved that book, and he felt like he really wanted that part. Kind of interesting. I'm definitely going to have to check that movie out now. So I still got Magilla Gorilla, the complete series. I don't know when I'm going to get around to watching this, but I'm going to watch that soon. I didn't show this off because it was just the only thing that showed up in the mail, and I was waiting for the second one, DVD I bought, Rise of the TMNT Mutant Mania. This is a DVD complication of like 6 episodes. I bought the other DVD that still not showed up yet, and I don't know what's taking it so long, but yeah, I'm waiting on that to show up. It hasn't shown up, so I don't know. I still have Gone with the Wind to watch. I watched Casablanca the other day, which I did a video on. Let's see. I got all 6 of the Paranormal Activity movies to watch. These 2, again, I'm still waiting after I'm done with watching the Jurassic Park movies. Next Monday, after this upcoming Monday, my plans were accordingly. I'm going to do Turner and Hooch, and then I'm going to do Honey, I Shrunk the Kids as a trilogy, and then when I'm finished with the whole trilogy, I will check these out. And then after that, I will move on to the Mighty Ducks and do all those reviews. And then I also have this Two Lovers Joaquin Phoenix movie. So, you know, I got a lot of stuff that I'm currently working on reviewing. Also, these 2 movies here. Good Morning Vietnam, Jonathan, stuff like that. Just got a lot of stuff I'm watching through. Just a lot of stuff. So yeah, that's everything I've been planning on talking about, working on doing reviews for and stuff. But yeah, be warned, you're gonna be hearing a lot about Land Before Time. And the next, what have I been watching? I'll probably watch it for 14 days or 13 more days straight. I will have watched every single Land Before Time movie. If plans work out accordingly, which actually, the nice thing about Land Before Time movies, actually, let's go over all these before I get out of this video, is, like the first movie, it's an hour and 9 minutes. The second movie, it's an hour and 13 minutes. The third movie, an hour 11 minutes. The fourth movie, an hour and 14 minutes. The fifth movie, an hour and 14 minutes. The sixth movie, an hour and 17 minutes. And then the seventh movie is an hour and 14 minutes. The next movie, the eighth movie, an hour and 15 minutes. The ninth movie, an hour and 15 minutes. And none of these get to an hour and a half. None of these. They're all like, I think the longest one here is an hour and 25 minutes. Hour and 25 minutes. So, these films aren't that long, so they don't take much time out of your day. So even if they're not very good, pretty short watches, and they're not that bad, which is nice. Of course, most of these were direct-to-video, and the only one that was theatrical was the first one, and they're probably not that good. But I have nostalgia. I watched all these, and I want to watch them again, just because I have the set, and it's like, it'd just be fun. And, if they suck, whatever, I'll admit that they suck. But, but I just want to have fun and revisit something that I remember watching as a kid. And if it sucks, oh well, I don't really care too much.